What's up guys, this is Corey with the Dirt Seated Gem, back in another video for y'all. So today we are continuing our look at our set 7 leaders. And today's leader is a leader that once I initially saw it, I was like, oh, I don't think this leader is very good. I just didn't like what it was doing and everything like that. I didn't think the leader did enough, but as I've been testing it, I've actually started to come around on it quite a bit. And that is the Red Broly from set 7. I still think the leader is a little underwhelming by himself, but his engine is so powerful and the stuff that he gets access to is so strong that it makes it almost hard not to at least attempt it. And once you really kind of get into it, I think the deck actually is really fun and it offers a lot to the game right now. But let's go ahead and get on over into our list. Alright, so we've got our Red Broly leader. On his front side, he is a 10k crit leader. Auto, whenever this card is placed in your leader area, choose up the one dormant legend card from your deck and activate it. Awaken it for life, may draw one, choose up one of your energy and untap it. And then on his backside, Broly the Recurring Nightmare. Auto, whenever this card attacks, draw a card. And then activate battle once per turn, choose one card in your hand, place it in your drop area, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 10,000 power or less and KO it. Moving into the actual list, so first up we've got 3 Intensifying Power Trunks. So it's just our 1 drop, 1 red 5k. Auto, whenever this card attacks, you can choose one card in your life, add it to your hand. If you do so, this card gains plus 10,000 power and crit. This card isn't like super useful a lot of the time. This kind of helps us just fix our awakening numbers. Let's say because of the card Dormant Legend we'll get into a little bit, your opponent just kind of gets us to 3. Or gives us down to 5 life. This just lets kind of get us awakened. Sometimes we're left at awkward numbers and things like that, and then later on in the game, this is just a great 5k combo piece if you need a rival. 15k crit going in with like a chomp or something like in the late games, not too bad of an option of itself. So it has a little bit of utility there, but it's not like an essential piece of the deck like it is for a lot of other decks. Moving on, we've got 4 Broly Demonic Origins. So this is a 2-drop, 1 red, 1 green, 15k. Energy Exhaust, permanent. If there's a card that is both red and green in your energy area other than this card, negate this card's Energy Exhaust skill in all areas. And then auto, whenever you play this card, your opponent chooses one card from their hand and places it in the drop area. More often than not, this is just a energy that we're charging. Usually this is like our turn 2 energy. Turn 1 we're charging a dual color, turn 2 we're charging this, and now we have 2 energy. Instead the typical, if we were to charge a multicolor energy, would be behind because it has to come in rest mode. So this lets us continue with the turn and doesn't kind of like push us back, which is really nice. So majority of the time these are going straight to energy. Its discard effect isn't irrelevant. Sometimes we can play with our opponent's hand a little bit, and this becomes a little bit kind of an addition to that. And then as a 15k, being able to apply pressure is really nice. Next up, we've got Combo Strikes on Gohan. This is one of the stars of the deck. It's a 2-drop, 1 red, 1 green. It's a 10k, Energy Exhaust, auto. Once per turn, when this card attacks or is attacked, you may choose one card in your hand, place it in your drop area. If you do, choose with one battle card in your drop area that is both red and green, and combo with it in your combo area. So what this card is, this is one of those cards, again, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know that that's very good. But as I started really kind of looking into it and seeing what it did, I was like, oh, this card is actually very good. This is an arrival engine. So what that means is every time you swing with it, you pitch a card from your hand and then you just combo with the multicolored card from your drop area. Now you meet the conditions of arrival. And so now you don't have to like combo 2 cards out of your hand or pay an energy to combo a multicolored card. You're just pitching a card, which you're going to lose a card anyway if you're going to combo traditionally, so that's not a neg for you. And now you're able to just automatically combo with that multicolored card, so now you're just able to just effectively pay the arrival cost and bring these bombs in play, which is incredibly powerful. It keeps Broly kind of loaded around because you're not really using a lot of energy to play threats. Because this Gohan just allows you to, you know, effectively just pay the arrival cost now. So you're able to get into these big Brolys and these Gogetas and these Gokus for just the 1 or 2 energy that they cost and keep the rest of your energy open, which is incredibly nice. So a really great addition to the deck. A very powerful card. Next up, we've got 2 Furthering Destruction Champa. So this is just our double strike card. Our leader is a critical leader, just automatically in the front. So having access to double strike is really good, and then just closing out games with double strike is just you know, kind of a staple of the game. Next up, we've got 3 Broly Counter Reversal, another kind of star of the deck. So it's a 4-drop, 2 red. It's a 20k permanent during your turn. This card gets plus 5,000 power and can attack active battle cards. That's a very relevant effect. And then auto once per turn. when your opponent activates a counter skill, deal 1 damage to them. And again, another very relevant effect, another very great effect. So effectively, this just puts your opponent in an awkward situation. Like every time you swing with anything once it's out, they have to really debate, should I counter or should I not? If I counter, I take a life. And then they're caught in that situation, like when they get to like 2 life or anything like that. If they counter and you've got the double strike, now or if they don't counter because they don't want to take the life, and then you have the double strike card in your hand, you're really kind of like putting your opponent in awkward situations. A really, really great card. Its effects do stack. So if you get multiple of these out in play, every time they combo, they have to take multiple life. So really, really strong, especially like as the game wears on. Like once you get down to that 2 and 1 life portions of the game, effectively once you get to 1 life, negates are gone. They can't negate anymore, which is just fantastic by itself. So very, very strong card. Alright, next up we've got Broly Rapid Barrage. It's a 3-drop, or it's a 4-drop, 1 red, 1 green. It's a 20k, a rival for red, green, and 1 red. Energy exhaust permanent. Only 1 Broly Rapid Barrage can be played in your battle area, and you can't play this card in any area unless Dormant Legend is in your drop area. Auto, whenever you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and get its minus 10,000 power until the end of your opponent's turn. That's a pretty relevant effect, so you're making effectively a 20k, a 10k for 2 turns. And as you saw with their leader ability, he can pop 10ks in the battle area. So it's a really cool effect there. And then auto, whenever your opponent combos, you may choose 1 card in your hand, place it in your drop area. If you do, choose 1 card in your opponent's combo area and place it in their owner's drop area. Then negate the skill for the duration of the turn. So this is a very annoying effect for your opponent, especially since it's not technically an auto once per turn effect. So you can wait, like your opponent could try to like bait this out with a 5k combo, but you're like, hey, cool, you're fine. But then they drop the super combo and you're right, now I'm going to activate it. And you get rid of that 10k. They still get the draw, but you're getting rid of that additional 10k, which is really, really nice. This starts adding up with the other Broly that we have, so you're effectively able to get rid of 2 combos per turn, which is really, really nice. You do have to neg a card from hand, but that's not super relevant when you're starting to just like kind of like prevent your opponent from really applying pressure. So really, really nice. Next up, we've got 2 Faded Kaioken Son Goku. It's a rival red-green. Permanent, only 1 Faded Kaioken Son Goku can be played in your battle area. Activate main once per turn. Choose 1 card in your life and then add it to your hand if your life is at 3 or less, and your leader card is a red Saiyan card, or just, excuse me, your leader card is a Saiyan card. This card gains double strike and dual attack for the duration of the turn. Just a really great kind of closeout kind of card. It's a little bit of a self-awakening too. Just double strike, dual attack for 20k is really nice, especially when you start adding it up with like the combo reversal Broly, and then you've got, or counter reversal Broly, and then you got the rapid barrage Broly, so you're not letting them get rid of or letting them combo and things like that. This guy can really kind of be oppressive and close out the games by himself. Next up, we've got 4 Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Resonant Explosion. So it's a 5-drop. It's double strike, a rival red-green for a red. Auto, whenever you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less and KO it. And then you can't play another Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Resonant Explosion for the duration of the turn. This is just really great, like filler card. You know, he comes in, he pops stuff. He's cheap to come in for 1 red. And then he's just a 20k double striker that's just on the board. He's a 5-drop, so like another Gogeta can't blow him up. So really, really great. He's just a really great like aggro card for us. Next up, we've got 3 Broly Tragedy Foretold. So it's a 6-drop, a rival red-green. Auto, whenever you play this card, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. They get minus 15 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So again, this is like what we're talking about with the Broly leader effect. Now you're making 2 25ks, 10ks, so Broly can pop them. It also ignores barriers, so you can get rid of problem cards. Thinking of things like with Indestructible, you can kill a lot of those kind of cards with the Zamasu stuff. Just all around really great effect. You can play this on your opponent's turn too. So if they're swinging in, you can just like, okay, cool, now I'm going to play this, and it's an auto minus 15k to your attack, which is really strong. And then auto, whenever your opponent combos, you may choose one of your opponent's combo area and place it in its owner's drop area. If you do, negate the skill for the duration of the turn. So this is similar to the Broly Rapid Barrage, except this you don't have to actually pitch cards. So whenever you start pairing these together, like I said, you're just getting rid of 2 combos a turn, which is incredibly powerful. It's the same thing, it's not in a once per turn, so you can kind of choose which cards you want to drop off their combo area, which is really nice. And just being a 30k, he can kind of go in for game himself. You give him double strike or something like that. He's a pretty big, beefy body. Next up, we've got 4 Broly Dawn of the Rampage, which is a 1-drop 1 green 5k. Auto, whenever you play this card, look at the top 7 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 green Broly among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is just a great searcher. All of our multicolored Brolys this can find, it can find itself. So it has a pretty good amount of targets. And then kind of mid to late game, he's just a 0-5k green card if we need to rival like that. So not too bad. Next up, we've got 2 Urgent Aid Kami, so it's a 1-drop 1 green. Auto, whenever you play this card, draw a card, and then auto once per turn, whenever your opponent on their turn untaps an energy with a non-leader awaken skill, you can choose one of their energy and blow it up. Just kind of a great kind of situational board card. He kind of sits there and it prevents your opponent from Senzu beating on their turn and kind of like pushing their plays on their turn. It comes into play, draws a card, which is really nice. It's a 0-5k green combo, which is again really nice. Just all around pretty solid card. We're only running 2 of these. These aren't like super necessary. We really just kind of needed a 0-5k green to throw in the deck. Next up, we've got 3 Super Saiyan Broly Unforeseen Force. So this is a 2-drop 2 green. Auto, whenever you play this card from your hand, activate this skill at the end of the turn. If there is a card that is both red and green in your energy, draw 2 cards, then choose up the one in your hand, place it in your drop area, then choose any number of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and KO them. So this is a nice removal effect. It's a 2-drop draw 2 effectively, which is nice. It's 15k, so it can apply pressure. It's a 0-5k green, which is nice. And all around, just a pretty solid card. And then he's also searchable off of our 1-drop green Broly, which is again is nice. And then next up, we've got 3 Vegeta the Cruel. This is probably my favorite card in the entire deck. Like, it's increasingly become one of my favorite cards in the set. So it's a 3-drop 1 green, 15k counterplay. Play this card. Permanent. If a multicolored card is in your energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. So it becomes a 2-drop 1 green 1 other. And then auto, whenever you play this card during your opponent's turn, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, KO it. Then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and sends it to the warp. So this is just a great value proposition card. So this is a 2 for 1 effectively. So you're paying 2. This comes into play, you're killing something, and you're sending a card out of their hand. So you're effectively, if you're doing this on a card that they played, you're making them neg 2, while you're only negging 1, which is fantastic. You're able to get rid of a threat, so you don't have to kill the threat that they're playing this turn. You could they could play like a 1-drop something, and you can cool, play this, blow up something else, which is really nice. The fact that they warp a card too is just extra. So again, one of my favorite cards. It's 15k, so it applies pressure really nice. It's a 0-5k green, which is kind of where we want to be with our arrival engine and everything like that. So overall, just a very solid card. And like I said, increasingly, it's becoming one of my favorite cards in the set. It just has so much value. It's effectively like a Denial of Hope or a Preemptive Strike, while not quite as good in terms of the card still comes into play, so all of its come into play autos still trigger. The fact that you're getting rid of it and making them warp a card is just incredibly powerful while getting a 15k in play. Very nice. Next up for our super combo, we're running 4 Master Roshi Martial Expert. This is just our drop area or sparking super combo. You could swap this out for the life super combo if you prefer. It's largely irrelevant for what the deck's doing. And then finally, we're running the SCR Super Saiyan 3 Scramble, Raditz, Vegeta, and Broly. It's an 8-drop arrival for 3 red 2 green. It's a 40k ultimate. Auto, whenever you play this card, choose 1 card in your life, place it in your drop area, then deal 2 damage to your opponent. And then auto, whenever your opponent combos, if it's a combo cost with energy cost 2 or less, I believe, you can just blow it up. And this isn't this doesn't get negated for the turn. It's not a once per turn, so every single time they combo, this triggers. So now you're kind of continuing that combo game. Generally, whenever you play this out, you're just winning the game right there, just because you're dealing the 2 life and it's over. But if not, now you're just effectively removing the combo phase from them unless they're really committing to the combo. And then if you've got the other Brolys out, you can still get rid of those combos as well. So really great solid card, a really great kind of way to finish out the game. And then moving on to our extra cards, we got 4 After Image Technique, just one of the best sparking negates in the game. It's not really effectively a negate, but not technically a negate, but effectively it's a negate. And you're minusing something 10k, so then the Broly's leader effect becomes relevant on the backside. So if you could do it like a 10k, now he can blow it up. So stuff there to pay attention to. And then finally, the 1 Dormant Legend. We're only running 1 because the leader puts it into play. We only ever really need to see 1. But it's a 2-drop 1 red field. Permanent, you can't place battle cards under this card except with this card's skill. And then auto, whenever a card in your life is added to your hand or placed in the drop area during your opponent's turn, place the top card of your deck underneath this card. And then activate main. If there are 3 or more cards, enter this card, place this card in your drop area, and then choose up to 1 red Broly card with energy cost of 4 from your deck and play it, then shuffle your deck. So a couple of our targets with this are the main target really is the Broly counter reversal. So you're effectively for free getting a 4-drop that now makes them burn a life whenever they negate, which is really nice. And then there's a 25k attacker on your turn. Or if you wanted to, you could go get like the Broly Rapid Barrage, but like I said, generally speaking, the counter reversal is really where you want to be at with this, just because it's a really like efficient card to get out for free. But overall, that is the deck list. Really what you're trying to do is you're trying to really just like control the game for the most part. You're not like getting like super aggressive with your plays and everything like that. You know, you're swinging with your leader for crit, which is really nice. You're getting out the counter reversal, so now they can't negate. Then you're just using like the Gohan or just, you know, a rival in general to kind of get out these bigger bombs for really efficient. So you keep energy open so you're able to rival on your opponent's turn as well if you need to. You're able to Vegeta the Cruel on your opponent's turn if you need to. Just really kind of working up the game. Really just being annoying and just getting out these bombs and just consistently applying like 15k pressure. We're not generally comboing a lot offensively with this deck unless we absolutely have to, like for a rival or something like that. We're kind of close out the game, so we're keeping a pretty consistent hand size. We're just kind of like working our way through the game. We're kind of just chipping away, and then we're getting that point where the counter reversals are really relevant. The get rid of combo cards are really relevant, kind of in that late portion of the game. So it's a really just kind of chip away kind of deck like that. It's not super control-y, but it has control elements. But overall, I think it's a very solid deck. I think the Broly engine is very strong. The rival engine is incredibly powerful, especially if you can start doing it with the Gohan, so you're efficiently getting out the rival cards. If you're able to go in like a turn 3 Broly Tragedy Foretold, you can really start like oppressing your opponent where they can't combo. If combine that with like a counter reversal, so they can't negate, they can't combo, and you're really just kind of ramping up that way, you can really start applying pressure. The Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta Resonant Explosion, to be able to pop their battle cards is really nice, and then get a 20k Double Striker into play, and just, like I said, really just kind of chipping away, just kind of methodically going about it until we can kind of close out the game. But anyway guys, that is the list. Let me know what you think down below, and we will see y'all next time.